This is what our house looked like in June of 2024. And this is what our house looked like at the end of 2025. But before we can review the events of 2025, we need to look back at what transpired in 2024. Much of 2024 was spent reconstructing the 1930s farmhouse. If we look back to the last half of 2024, that's when Jim and I rebuilt the entire floor, including new floor joists and subfloor. The original farmhouse floor was too unwavy and uneven. We purchased laminate flooring 2 years ago, and that requires a level, sturdy, and even surface. After we installed the new floors, we put in the 30-foot beam you see in the center of the ceiling. Next, we put in the new ceiling joists to frame up the cathedral ceiling, which was then finished off using tongue and groove pine boards. Now our attention was on that 30-foot beam. Katie and I wanted to face the beam with barn wood from our 100-year-old barn. We gathered boards, cleaned them, and tried different methods of finishing the boards, such as staining and burning. We test fitted several of the boards, but ultimately could not decide how to best finish the beam. This unfinished project weighed on my mind all throughout the year. My first project of 2025 was in the master bathroom. The goal was to put the bathroom back together and fully functional. But before I could start, I wanted to replace the floor because the floor sloped downwards towards the tub. I used my skill saw to rip out the dirty subfloor and asked Jim to help with leveling the joists and installing the new subfloor. Now that the subfloor is in place, it was time to test fit the tub. And boy oh boy, did this cause me some problems. I thought I'd be able to just slide it right in, but it just didn't fit. It was off by 1/2 inch. So after removing some sheetrock, I was able to slide it into place. Okay, it fits. Oh my goodness. Why do I do this to myself? So here I am applying a liquid rubber with the intent of making the shower area completely waterproof. We were tired of using the shower in the RV and really wanted to start using the shower and the bathroom in the house. So this provided a quick and easy way to get the shower area waterproof instead of having to put the tile up now. However, I had no idea this was going to cause a massive issue when it came to putting tile up later on this year. To allow us to be able to use the shower in the tub, what we're going to do now is install a shower curtain rod, the shower curtain, the bath mat, and the towel rack. Now that we had the bathroom fully working, it was time to start moving into the kitchen and getting the cabinets installed. Got them all positioned, laser line level. Started with the back corner, getting that in place, constantly checking for level with laser and a level, securing them to the wall, piecing each of the cabinet pieces together, spacing out for the oven, putting that last cabinet in place, again, checking, double checking. Now I used the easy level system to level these cabinets way easier than shims. And since I was the first time installing base cabinets myself, I found that to be a very useful tool. Here I am securing it in place, getting the no-tip bracket for the oven, sliding the oven in place, and so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the 6, 7, 8, 9 pieces that I need to put in. Turns out there was a missing end panel for where the refrigerator was going to go. So I was kind of at a stopping point, decided to head outside and do some outside work, specifically cleaning up the property. There was a lot of construction debris from previous year's demolition. How you doing, buddy? What you up to? You just protecting the house? Hi, mister. How you doing? Oh, okay. Yeah, let's twist and pull it up. Okay. place. It's level, pony wall is in place, electrical, plumbing, dishwasher. Once the sink arrives, I'll do a dry fit, and then we can have the countertops measured, cut, and installed. All right, so Katie has been very, 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 very hard at work.
Very busy.
Very busy with her chicken business.
These are my incubators, and if you look in there, you can see we're literally starting to hatch. These are the brooder setups.
Katie stayed extremely busy this year with her chicken business. Even though it's not going to be shown prominently throughout this video, she stayed busy selling hatching eggs and chickens from day old to laying hens. Now that the weather is turning to spring, it is time to do a little project outside. Actually, this is a pretty massive project that we have been wanting to do for a couple years. So we took a break from the house and started prepping a field for our orchard. The long-term goal is to make it a food forest, and so I'm prepping the field with the goal of making it smooth. Currently, it's really bumpy from all of the trees that we removed beginning of last year. Initially taking the rake and getting up all the debris, then taking a box blade with the tines down and breaking up the soil and trying to grab some of those roots that are left behind. Then we move on to the tiller and do several passes to really smooth that soil up. Yeah, that is way smoother than it was. It's now not going to wash away, I don't think, Levi, during a heavy rain, but I need to get these swales in here. So here you see us marking with paint the shape and size of the half moon swales. And you can see those flags. We originally found the contour of the ground, and we used those contour lines as our starting point and direction for the half moon swales.
I'm out here in the food forest area, and Nate is hard at work. What he's doing is he's piling up the dirt that he's pulling out of these half moons, and that's going to create the swale on the back end to keep the water in the half moon.
They're all planted, they have mulch rings around them, they have cages around them. Well, there we are, our very first orchard. It's really exciting. We still have a lot more work to do to make this into a food forest, but for now, we're gonna call it a win with our little miniature 12 fruit tree orchard. Good news is the end panel came in. Better news is that it is installed. And I actually was working on that today and yesterday, and Katie loves it. She's trying to sneak from being recorded, but
I was trying to be quiet.
What do you think of the refrigerator section?
It looks amazing.
It looks amazing.
Yes, I'm very excited. We're getting so close.
Yes. All right, countertops ready to be installed. We have countertops and all of the cabinets in place. We have ourselves a beautiful kitchen that both Katie and I love very much. It's pretty awesome. I just need to get myself in a groove to get the floors installed. I really have been just pushing that off. So now is the time-consuming task of getting the floors prepped, which means getting up old carpet staples, and there's a bunch of mud from the drywall. Long process, but it's needed, so let's get going. Let me jump in here and tell you that this project was one of the most rewarding projects to have finished. It took a long time to finish and it was a lot of backbreaking work, but there was so much prep work to getting to this point. The house, when we first bought it, didn't have level floors, and in fact, there were 3 different levels of floors. From the living room to the kitchen was one level, from the kitchen into the hallway was another level. The living room and the kitchen were so old that the floors were wobbly and wavy, and I actually had to rip out the entire floor of the original 1930s farmhouse and put in a brand new floor to make this happen. This was my first time laying down this type of flooring, and it took a lot of prep work to make sure I had the pattern right and the layout right so it fit in all the rooms and it was nice and straight inside the great room, and it turned out absolutely beautiful. I love it. Tons of work involved, but well worth it in the end. Man, what a relief. It is so nice having the flooring done. Now that it was mid-April, it was time to prepare the garden for the growing season, which will start in May. Started with ripping up the old our garden bed and getting it all prepared, mowing it down, and then taking the tiller and tilling it up so it had nice fluffy soil. We then proceeded to make rows, adding fertilizer along the way, tilling it up so it's nice and soft for the roots. Ended up planting a bunch of tomatoes and some peppers, put a fence around it, and we'll let those grow out over the next few months, and we'll check on this garden a little bit later. Now it's time to start sanding and preparing the interior doors. This one is for the master bedroom closet. Stain it, and then we'll add some polyurethane to seal the door. You can see the door has been hung, and now I can start adding trim. So the first room that we wanted to add trim into was the master bedroom. This was a pretty satisfying project also. Adding some caulk to make it nice and smooth between the trim and the wall. Patching those nail holes and painting them up. And we were able to furnish the first bedroom. The master bedroom looks absolutely gorgeous, and from this night forward, we slept in the room and no more in the RV. I was then able to move on to trim in the remainder of the house, and here's trim in the great room coming out of the hallway. The little 3-inch pieces of trim along the door jamb needed to be extended out about a 1/2 inch to make the reveal correct. All those did take a few days. They went pretty quick. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to finish all of the trim because there's still a few doors that I didn't have access to and they weren't done. So we decided to do some more yard work outside because we had a bunch of chicks that were in the brooder that needed to come outside, and some grow out chickens that were in a chicken tractor that needed to be moved into a fixed run. So we gathered them out of the chicken tractor and moved these grow outs into Vever 1, and they were very excited to have extra space. Then we took the chicks that were in the brooder room and moved them out into the chicken tractor. And this was a process that we repeated dozens of times throughout the year. This is our Rainier cherry, Stella cherry, the fig tree, one of 2 plum trees, one of 2 chicksaw plum trees. These swales, they're working quite well. We haven't had rain for 4 days. 20th century Asian pear, freedom apple, our Honeycrisp apple, Enterprise apple, and the last apple tree we have is a cinnamon spice apple tree, and you can see it got hit really hard with the cedar rust. Well, it's not supposed to rain for 3 more days, so that can dry and do its thing.
Good there, Nate?
I'm trusting your judgment.
You trust me?
Yeah, that was pretty good. Yeah. In between working on some of the interior doors, I asked Jim to come over and help install a flush-mounted drain assembly in the master bathroom. This will be used for the soaking tub that will be installed later in the year. With Jim's help, it was a pretty simple installation process. And one thing I want you to notice though, are those tiles up on the wall. We'll address those a little bit later here in the video. Hey, it's in.
I got it.
Sweet. I get a couple screws in there and call it good.
All right.
Now that the interior doors are done, it's time to move on to the front door. And here I'm prepping the door jamb, removing a bunch of old siding and shaving down so it's nice and flush to the floor. Test fitting the door jamb and then putting in some blocking to make sure I have a nice solid base for the threshold. Finishing up with some waterproofing and it's ready to go. And remember that garden? Well, as you can see here, it is very overgrown with weeds. It's producing lots of tomatoes and lots of peppers, but it's very overgrown. So between projects, when I'm waiting for stain to dry or the finish to dry on the doors, I come out and weed for a few hours a day. And push. How are we doing my arm?
You're fine. You're in. You're completely out of the door.
We decided to move the refrigerator into the house before we put the front door in. We wanted to make sure we had enough space in the door jamb, and we also didn't want to bang up the new front door. We bought this refrigerator on sale 3 years ago, thinking that the remodel of the house was going to be a quick remodel. Well, it wasn't. So here we are, installing this 3-year-old refrigerator, only to find out it's just not going to work for us. That's really far out. Ew. Oh man. We don't like this one. We don't, no. This is really far out. This is bad. Yeah, that's really bad. That's crazy. Now that the interior doors were done and hung, it was time to finish up the rest of the trim. Got around the front door, around the bathroom door, and then all of the remaining base trim. Then it was time to add the face to the toe kicks and the trim around the base of all of the cabinets. That looks so good. We ended up taking a break from the house for a day because some high winds brought down a large tree. So what fell was a giant Bradford pear tree. Wow, okay, so we'll focus on getting access to the gate so we can leave the property if we need to. We ended up using this field to put all of the debris. Katie grabbed the tractor, I grabbed the pole saw, and during this hot summer day, it took us about 8 hours where we got the tree cleared out. Now that that tree is taken care of, it was time to get back to work in the house, and I wanted to focus on getting the bathrooms finished. So here I am doing a custom paint on the cabinet for the hallway bathroom, using cabinet paint and making sure to use multiple coats. I assemble the cabinet, and then with Katie's help, we get it installed. Sweet.
This way. There you go.
Okay. Right.
Okay.
Yep.
Ta-da!
Well, it turns out that that cabinet wasn't quite wide enough for the space. Plus, we wanted some shelving in there for the toiletries. So I ended up making a side cabinet from scratch. This was actually my first time making a cabinet. It was a fun little project. I ended up painting it the same color and attaching it to the side, and we'll see what that looks like here in a little bit. Now it was time to work on the countertop. We ended up going with butcher block style countertop. I made a template to fit the space perfectly and applied that template to the butcher block. I cut it to shape and to size, sanded everything down, and then stained and sealed it with polyurethane. Installed the side cabinet shelving, the butcher block countertop, and we are done. Here are the shelves and the countertop and the cabinet. This year, just like the previous years on this property, has been full of continuous hard work, both inside and outside. And that's why I make it a priority to go on a walk with the dogs every morning. That's something that we both really look forward to. We do it to stretch our legs, get a little exercise in, and then also take in the beauty that Tennessee and our property has to offer. One of our favorite things to do is to head down to the creek. The dogs like to dip in, cool off, drink some water, especially during the hot summer season. There's always work to be done outside, especially spring and summertime. One of the things that is a constant during those time periods is mowing. And here I am tackling the pond area where the geese are currently residing, so they have access to the pond. We actually did a big pond project and cleaned up this area about 2 years ago, and as you can see, I kind of let it go, but decided it was time to get back at keeping it up, and so I'm taking our electric lawnmower and mowing down these really tall weeds. Now with the addition of our orchard, it's just another thing to maintain, and Just like every other place on the property, if you don't keep up, the weeds will take over. And so here I am weeding our new half-moon swales. Looks like the weeds like to grow up on the banks, and just using a hedge trimmer to knock it all down. So let's talk about that Bradford pear tree that fell down across the driveway. Well, it was only half of it. The other half still remained, and it was a danger to keep up. So we hired a local company to come out and limb it and fell it. In addition to that, we had a few other trees on the property over the last couple of years fall in some really precarious places. One really close to the house, and we called this the Widowmaker. It's a pine tree that snapped in half and then fell into the top of a nearby cedar tree. And we needed them to take it down for us because we just did not know how to do it ourselves. There's a bunch of trees around the house that really just shouldn't be there. We have high winds, we have lots of torrential rain, and these trees are pretty shallow rooted, and we certainly didn't want them to fall into the house. So there was 2 magnolia trees and 1 pine tree right next to the house that we asked them to get rid of. This is something that we've wanted to have done for a couple of years now, and what a huge difference it has made. We got the arborvitae gone. We got another tree that was at the fence line there. And as you can see, we ended up burning. We decided to go ahead and just start burning because they had reduced the pile of old limbs that were dry and would have gone up like tinder. We have years and years and years worth of wood chips between this new pile and the pile that we still have left over from when we had the field cleared of trees. Remember that peel and stick tile that I talked about in the master bathroom? Well, no longer is it sticking. It's falling off the walls. It's a bad idea to put it up, so now I need to take it down, clean the walls, and prep for actual tile to be installed. Now that I got the actual tile installed and done, it was time to move on to lighting in the master bathroom here. I'm installing 6 surface mount LED lights that really light up the room, but they are dimmable. And here I'm installing 3 shelves made of barn wood. We're going to use that to put our towels, candles, various ambiance type stuff.
But yeah, you need to get in a better position. Sure?
No.
Well.
And of course, the centerpiece to this bathroom, the soaking tub. On your end, okay. We're not in a straight. Okay.
Can you hold it from that position?
Sure, I'll try. There we go. Oh man. Oh, that's heavy. Oh, watch your feet, watch your toes. This was one of my favorite projects of the year. Should be able to slide into place. It required a little bit of problem solving. It allowed me to be creative. And I got to use a new tool, something I've never used before. All right, I have cut the side pieces to length and to width, but they're too thick. And so I need to plane them down. most of all, I love the way it turned out. Well, here is where we're at with this area down at the street. So they got a ton of trees cleared here in the corner. We hired Lyle again to remove some trees down at the end of the driveway to improve our view of the Appalachian Mountains. You'll see a before and after picture here soon. And they also helped us do a bunch of land work to reconfigure the driveway. It's always been difficult to get in and out of, and we wanted to improve access to the property for when we have deliveries and customers coming to pick up chickens. And you can see I just got the gates down, and they have all of the posts in here. We've cut in the driveway, which is right here, the roundabout driveway, and then filled in the burn pit and the hole. We were able to finish putting up the fencing and hang the gates. Now we need to gravel the U-shaped driveway and remove some old fencing that still remains. Having put up that small amount of tile in the master bathroom back in August taught me one thing, and that is I don't like doing tile work. So I really put off the tile work in the hallway bathroom for quite some time. But here it is in October, and I thought I really just need to finish up this bathroom. I spent an entire day laying out the tile, making sure that I had the pattern correct and that it fit the space perfectly. And then I set off to getting the first row installed. The first row is the most important. It had to be laser line level all the way across, and each piece had to be cut to size. The first row did take me quite a bit of time to do. In fact, it was about 5 hours worth of work. The next day I started on row number 2, which actually was a lot easier because the first row was already perfectly level. So all I had to do was use the spacers, match the pattern, put up a full-size tile. Things were going really well. But little did I know of the challenges ahead. Well, I have 2 rows in, and you might have seen in the time lapse, I put up a 3rd row and then I took the 3rd row down. And that's because I found out that not all of these tiles are the same size, because apparently they make these tiles in batches, and every batch is not the same exact color, not the same exact size. This tile here is from batch W2. The 2 rows that I have installed are from batch W2. And when I take this tile from batch W3, it is 1/16 of an inch too big. And that size over the entirety of the row threw the whole pattern off, and it just didn't line up. It did not look good. So I ended up going to every Lowe's store in my greater area, buying every box that they had, hoping that I would find enough tiles that matched in size that I could finish this project. I thought I found the tiles that fit correctly. I started doing a row. Turns out, no, they're still not fitting correctly. So what I'm gonna do is go through the very laborious and time-consuming process of laying out all of the tiles that I do have and see if I can make these work somehow. Like maybe if they're rotated one way versus the other way, pairing them up differently or something. I don't know if I can make this work or not. If so, then I'll put them up with the pattern that I established on the ground here. If not, then we're just gonna have to start over with a whole different tile set. All right, here we go. Wish me luck. We are looking at about 2.5 days worth of work right here. Boy, this is turning out to be quite the project, but I hit a little bit of a snag. Take a look at right down there. What do you see? I was standing on the edge of the tub to reach to the top up there. My foot slipped and I kind of pressed into the bottom and the tile popped off the wall. Which is very strange given that that's been up there for an entire week. So that means that the adhesive, the mortar, actually it's called mastic, I'll get to that in a second, that mastic didn't dry. Remember earlier in the video when I was waterproofing the shower walls and I said it was going to cause a massive issue with tile? This type 1 tile adhesive requires evaporation to cure. It can't evaporate behind the tile because the tile is not porous, and it can't evaporate on the substrate because the waterproofing membrane is preventing it from, from absorbing any moisture and drying it out. So basically what their manufacturer is saying is that the stuff will never cure behind these. It'll never cure. The manufacturer of the product said my only option is to remove the tiles, clean the mastic off of the back of the tile, off of the wall, and then get myself a polymer-filled mortar that will bond to that shower-proofing membrane and reapply the tiles. That's really, really unfortunate. After more than 2 weeks of working on this tile and several setbacks, I really needed a change of pace. So I asked my friend Wilson to come over and help remove some posts from this 100-year-old barn that's been falling over. So initially we removed a bunch of the debris around the edges of the barn so we can get to the center, and then we used the tractor to pull the posts out. These posts are roughly 20 feet in length, and I plan on cutting them lengthwise at a thickness of about 1 inch. I'll then take those 20 feet by 1 inch slices of wood and cover the beam inside the great room. Well, as you can see, we've gotten quite a bit done here. We have access now to one of the posts that I want to get out. I think our plan is just to put a chain around and just pull. I wanted to test the power of this zero-turn mower, and we're going to pull that beam out of here. I didn't do a very good job at attaching it, did I? Oh yeah, no problem. All right. It's time to get back into working on the bathroom, getting the tile up. Honestly, I have been avoiding this, kind of putting it off and putting it off, but I need to get back into it. So after sanding down rough spots of dried mastic on the walls, washing the walls of any remaining dust, doing some touch-up waterproofing, it was time to put up the tile. Here we go, wish me luck. I got this. they say, the third time's a charm, and that is certainly the case here. Putting these tiles up the third time was so much easier than the first 2 times. The tiles are already pre-cut, they're pre-laid out, and after I figured out how to properly mix this mortar, it went up fast. I cannot tell you how satisfying it was to have this project done and to be able to call the bathroom finished. Well, after just over 1 month of working on the tile in the shower area, I'm happy to announce that the bathroom is finally done. So I got the tile in, got it grouted, got it all waterproofed and caulked. I got all of the hand towel bars up, got the trim in place, got the floor waterproofed. It's been a process, but it's done. It looks good. And now I'm ready to move on to the next part of the house to get it done, which is the second bedroom / Katie's office, so she can move in and work from there. To finish the office, I needed to create 3 barn doors, and I did that with 1x pine material, cut to custom length, sanded, stained, glued, and nailed together. The barn door railing required long ledger boards to attach to, so I removed some trim, put up the ledger boards, and installed the railing. I also wanted to create a new desk for her. This is a 6-foot long butcher block tabletop that I stained, sealed with polyurethane, and attached to adjustable legs. I got the barn doors hung, her desk, chairs, and computer put in place, and now when she comes home, she has an office in the house that she can work from. This was the last room in the house to finish, and after 5 years of living in an RV, we now have a house where we can eat, sleep, and work in. The weather's been pretty strange here lately, and we came upon a pretty nice part of the day. So Katie and I have been wanting to take up this netting that's been around the pond. It has a lot of weeds, stuff growing through it, so we took our time and got all that pulled up. We needed to make a couple more chicken runs up by the pond area, because after winter we were going to start breeding again, and we have a few more runs that we needed. Pond area is now open and clear of any fencing, and the best part is, okay, now slowly let it down. Now put your tip down. Okay, now push the pressure relief and then back out slowly. Our kids are here for the week. While the temperature has been pretty cold and there's been a few rainy days, we've been able to get outside and have some fun, but more importantly, just spend some quality time with each other. Having breakfast in the house, having dinner in the house, going out to eat. It's been absolutely amazing. We even took time to do some trivia in the evening, and of course, coming towards the end of the year, we're thankful for everything that we have and looking forward to what we have coming up next year. The boys ended up heading back home, and I went along with them to spend some time with friends and family out there, thinking that'd be the end of the story for the year. But when I got back, Katie had a huge surprise waiting for me.
I have a project that I have been itching to do. I'm gonna go ahead and start picking through these boards so that we can finish something that we've been really, really wanting to get done.
The forecast called for rain over the next few days, and since Katie wanted to get this project started over the weekend, she brought the boards inside to make sure that they stayed dry.
You like the look?
I do.
I think it looks good.
I think it looks good. Yeah. All right. Let's get to work, Jim.
While I was out of town, Katie organized a work party with our friends Howie, Rita, and Jim. Howie, Rita, and Katie were outside sanding and cutting the boards to length, while Jim was inside putting the boards up on the beam.
We've laid out all the boards so we can see the sizes, the color differentiation, see how we want to kind of map them out. Jim has already completed one whole side. So we've got this side completed. We're gonna go ahead and I'll start handing Jim the boards. He's gonna go up here and he is going to tack them on, and we are gonna tackle this side. That was the last one.
Here we go.
Look at that beauty. That is
good.
gorgeous.
Now we just gotta put the bottom on. Wow, that's kind of bringing it all together, isn't it?
That looks so good. Here we go. We finished a beam.
There you go.
Looks gorgeous. It's tied up to the wall. Could not have done that without the help of my neighbors, Rita and Howie, and Jim. Thank you all so much. This turned out so good. I really hope Nate likes it. I think it looks beautiful.
It took us 2 years of traveling the United States to find this perfect property. We've been on this property for 3 years now and have spent the majority of that time fixing up this house. We spent the last 5 years living in the RV, 2 years traveling and 3 years on this property. In late March of this year, we officially started sleeping in the house since we had furnished the master bedroom. Over the following months, we slowly moved in, and we can now officially call this house our home. Our home is comfortable, functional, and absolutely beautiful. And for that surprise that Katie had for me when I got home, I was shocked, and I absolutely love what they did to that beam.